Hey, everybody. We're back. It's true. It's true. Welcome to another Thursday evening. Welcome to Season 3, a new season of Carvers and Creators, a weekly demonstration and discussion with pumpkin carvers, sculptors, and multi-talented artists. First, we ask that you please give us a like and a follow on the platform you're watching us on, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and if you have any questions for the carvers and our special guest. Let's meet the carvers. First, he's an artist and sculptor from Boston, Massachusetts. He's a 2019 champion of Food Network's Outrageous Pumpkins. Paul Dever, welcome.
Welcome. Happy Thursday. Good to be back, everybody. Good to see everybody.
Happy Thursday to you, and a new picture after 2 years.
I don't even know how I did that.
That's the devil.
I was so excited to carve pumpkins at Monsterpalooza or squash, whatever we did.
Exactly. Yeah. Looking good. Looking good. Next, he's a multimedia sculpture artist from Tucson, Arizona, and a finalist on Halloween Wars 2019 on the Food Network. Say happy birthday to Matt Harper.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The big 4-0.
Oh,
Getting
finally.
up there. Finally.
I can finally drink in public, or what are they?
Is that the age you can do that now? You can drink in public.
Well, he got his ankle bracelet off.
That's a big help. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Our guest tonight is a traditional and digital sculptor from San Diego, California. She is the sculptress of the dark arts, that is. Please welcome Shannon Van Pelt. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, we are huge fans of yours. This is so fun.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. My name is Michael Mondragon. I'll be running the show, moderating comments, and chiming in from time to time. Yes, and a new background. Thank you very much. Let's check out our carves from 36 days ago, at the end of season 2. The carving subject was Elated Cyborg.
I
so this
forgot
is Matt's
completely about this thing. Holy crap. Thanks, Mick. Yeah, so that was a kabocha squash, and he's an elated cyborg. Man, that was a hard one to like think through in your head, because I was thinking he's got to be part machine, whatever. And so that's what I came up with. But I mean, anyway, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, awesome, Matt. So good.
Thank you. He's happy. He's elated.
Yes.
I don't even remember what the subject was. I know it was cyborg, but what was he supposed to be?
Elated cyborg.
Elated.
Is that what that meant? I blew that one.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know about that.
I didn't look it up.
Well, because here's Paul's, and
Yeah.
I think he nailed it.
Is he elated though? But is he elated?
He
I think
is.
so.
He's like, you know when the Grinch smiles? It's kind of like that kind of smile, like, you know, all those
Right.
wrinkles.
Yeah.
Like he farted in church and nobody knew it was him. That's elated.
That's very specific.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you got to go somewhere in your thought process.
Yeah.
Well, Maddie, look, we almost did like the same exact.
I know.
The one eye.
I know. I see.
That's awesome. Great minds think alike.
There you go.
I love
That's what I
it.
heard anyway.
There you go. Such good stuff.
So long.
And we're looking for more from season 3 of all the carves. I do pixels and vectors. And so I have an offering tonight. It's funny because Paul, I think in the pre-show you mentioned Run DMC. Well, my Elated Cyborg is the 4th member of Run DMC.
Oh my God. So cool.
So I saw this. I thought of the pose, and I'm just like, oh, that's like Run DMC. It's like the same pose. And one of my favorite albums is Tougher Than Leather from Run DMC. Not a popular album by Run DMC, but I love it. It was one of my high school albums that I loved so much. So I definitely had to give tribute to Run DMC, who you mentioned earlier, which is awesome.
Again, great minds think alike. That's why the 3 of us are sitting here now. Dude, and you put it on an album.
Yes.
I know, that's what I was going to say. And you put it on the album, so it's all like something you pulled out of the bin, you know?
Oh, look at Johnny Pearson says the C stands for cyborg in Run DMC.
There you go. I did not know that.
And in the world, and the champion of the World Pumpkin Carving Contest, no big deal.
Yes.
Luke Schroeder joining us.
Luke Schroeder, thank you for
There he is.
joining us.
Macho Man 2.0.
Luke, I feel so honored. He clapped really loud. I could kind
He
of hear
did.
it. He's
I almost- yeah.
Thank you, Luke.
Well, Shannon, I'd like to introduce you to the fourth member of Carvers and Creators responsible for choosing our carving subject tonight. It is the hollow wheel, the center spinner, and as always, Paul will tell you more about it right now.
Welcome back, everybody. Season 3. Here we go. The wheel. So we cleaned off the wheel, dusted up a couple of things because the season is upon us. So we're going to go back to some of the basic characters that everybody wants to carve, right? So this season, we're going to start off with Vamp, Frank, Wolf, Demon, Alien, Ghost, guest choice as always, so be ready. Witch, Zombie, and Clown. That's our first spin. The second spin will be the emotion, which we will start off with Embarrassed. This year, we will have guest choice for an emotion. Enraged, Disturbed, Hungry, Nervous, Naughty, Disgusted, Smug, and Terrified. I like these. They're fresh choices.
Yes.
All of them terrifying.
Very good.
All of them
Naughty when I
scary.
think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so spin 1, season 3. We ready? Please don't break.
Ready.
Let's do it.
First subject will be an alien.
Ooh, I love aliens.
All right. Okay.
And will this alien be naughty? He'll be an enraged alien.
Enraged. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Good choices.
Right?
Wow.
Thank you,
Okay.
Wheel. Thank you, Wheel of Death. Center spinner.
I will.
Has
Wheel.
the
See
wheel
you next
broken
week.
before?
No, but it's loose as a goose. It's I gotta tighten the nut on it, but the looser it gets, the longer it spins. So hey, I'm living life, on the edge.
It's
Yeah.
gonna spin off your table and go across the street or something. pretty
Smash
soon.
with my camera, and I'm just like, I'll see you guys next week when I get new equipment.
Yes.
And
Okay.
rage-
Good,
Okay,
good,
four.
good subject. And Shannon will be creating with us. What are you going to be using there?
So I have monster clay. I'm gonna do kind of like a little plaque.
Oh, nice.
So
Yes. Okay.
yeah.
Ooh,
Yes.
I'm very
Okay.
excited for that.
Fantastic.
Oh man, this is the most anxiety I always have. Like as soon as I know the prompt, like staring at this blob, I'm saying, how the hell is that going to be an enraged? I guess we figure it out every week, but here we go.
I don't know. I got ideas, but usually when I have ideas, it goes to shite real fast, and then I have to do an about face and go down another path. So I'm gonna roll with it. I'm happy to be back. Season 3.
Right on. I
Who
know.
would've
It's
thought that?
crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we're almost we're approaching 100 episodes. This will be like our 94th.
No
So,
way.
Yeah, thank you, Shannon, for being our first guest.
Yes.
Hell
Of
yeah.
course, I'm honored.
Thank you very much.
It's been a long time coming.
Awesome.
Yes, you've been ghosting me for years.
All right. So if you're carving, if you're creating, if you're drawing, painting, whatever you're creating with us, definitely let us know. Hashtag Carvers and Creators. But we're going to give you 5 minutes to get all your stuff together while we go around the horn. Today is National IPA Day, so we love our craft beer. So, so Shannon, you have what is your carving oil tonight?
It's gonna be the Blood Orange IPA from Latitude 33.
Nice.
Wow, that actually sounds good.
It's very
Nice.
good.
Okay.
Wait,
I
I'm
like
gonna wait. I have to wait.
Yeah, we'll do a toast, but you're right. You know what? Since it is IPA day, Mick, I'll go next. I have one that's called Gold Cliff IPA from Kona Brewing Company. I think they're pretty big. I don't think they're like any kind of.
Yeah.
But this it's just pineapple, tropical pineapple made with that. So I figured that might help me like it, which is probably not bad.
Oh, I'm sure, Matt.
But then I have this as a backup, and because it's my birthday, I have this as another backup in case that runs out. So
Oh, that's
Wow.
a beauty.
A lot of carving oil. Paul,
Did he say backup or blackout?
yeah.
Speed
You want
got a
to
little
take
weird.
It's one and the
Right.
same. One and
Exactly.
the same.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
exactly.
Damn it.
Paul, what do you got?
All right, so I am going to go with Bissell Brothers Brewing from Maine,
yes.
which is a delicious and amazing brewery. This is called Lux. It's a mosaic pale ale. I've never had it, but the can is dynamite. It's got that 80s retro pink to blue gradient.
Yeah, a little synth wave.
Yeah. And they haven't done me wrong yet, so I have high hopes for this one.
Yeah, I still have yet to have one of those from that brewery, and I look forward to it. I always see that whatever that icon on the front, I see that all the time. Yeah.
3Bs.
Ooh.
Right. So I see that all the time, and I always wanted it. And so one day,
I'll send you some Christmas socks.
they'll be drenched in craft beer. I love it.
That won't even be socks. Who are we kidding?
I know, exactly. My beer is from Dictionary Roulette. It's a hazy IPA from Brewery X. I think I got too much glare here.
Like a surfy kind of can.
Yeah, it's I recently had this on the Beer Baseball show, but Brewery X is actually there used to be a big furniture store in like Anaheim, and then that got cleared out, and then they just put a huge brewery in there, and so Brewery X, if you're ever in Anaheim, like around Disneyland or so. So definitely.
Oh, so it kind of looks like Disneyland. Is that the Vegas or the Disneyland sign?
Yeah, it's Disneyland, and I'm sorry, Disneyland. It's Vegas, but I'm not sure why it's Dictionary Roulette. I have no idea. I've not done my research on this one, but it's good. It goes down smooth.
Time out. Can we back up a little? You didn't do research. You do research on everything. You have the answer for every question I've ever asked in my life. Don't tell me that.
Well, what is your carving oil out there in the chat? What do you guys having tonight? So we definitely want to know. But cheers to our creations tonight. Happy creating. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Season 3.
We're definitely going to go through Shannon's vast portfolio of work. So we'll start here, and I'll ask you, Shannon. Like, are you traditionally trained, or have you self-taught? Like, how did you get into this?
I definitely started out traditionally. I used to say self-taught, but I mean, I used to watch so many YouTube videos from different other artists that, are you really self-taught at that point, you know? But I would definitely say I like attended the University of YouTube.
Yeah,
I just was consuming so much content and trying to emulate, you know, my favorite sculptors, what they would do and stuff like that, their techniques.
That's cool.
But you got out of it without student debt.
Yes. That's very important.
It's huge.
I don't know how much YouTube charges, but you know, certainly not enough. You're damn good.
Well,
right?
I mean, if you have like what is it? YouTube Red. I mean, it's like $10.
Oh yeah, okay.
Without like ads, so you know, cheap.
Yep, exactly. And I think as artists, we're all visual learners, so it's just made for us, you know. And like I remember, you know, trying to learn out of a book to do this stuff. It just wasn't the same. So
I agree.
Seeing people do stuff is much easier.
Definitely. I was always the guy that had to go when you would read the instructions under the picture. It would say refer to step 2 when you're on like step 19. So you'd have to go back in the book and be like, oh man, I skipped right over that. Now what?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think the thing that always blows me away about your work is the detail, because you're doing these in what, half scale or primarily, or do you? I guess they range, right? I've seen some bigger stuff.
I'm the worst because I don't know what scale I'm ever sculpting in. People always ask me, and I'm like, I don't know. I just sculpt, you know.
And it's proportional, so it's whatever scale that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually have my Crete plaque. Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah.
I actually like her answer to that, not paying attention to what scale you sculpt in whatever scale you're comfortable with. Whatever's. Yeah. Sometimes you start one and you're like, oh, look at that.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
I know that.
So the Pennywise is pretty much the same scale, whatever this would be. Maybe half. I don't know.
Scale. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
maybe
have
a little less than half.
Yeah.
Do you have a scale tape measure or anything you could probably use?
No.
How much does it weigh? Put it on a scale.
Do they even make one? Yeah, put it on a scale.
Dude, that's the scale I was talking about.
But yeah, and it's signed by Greg Nicotero.
Oh,
He signed it. He signed it at Monsterpalooza. I was so excited. He came like down my aisle, and I was like, "Whoa, hold on!" And I, me and my fiance like went up behind him and was like, "Hey, excuse me, can you sign this?" But like I was like holding it like this, and he's like, "Well, can I see it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah, it's
So
amazing.
this year?
yeah, this year.
Oh,
Boy,
wow.
we missed everything, Matt.
Yes, we did. Damn it. I didn't know you was there. Son of a mother of.
Son of a gun.
Yeah,
But he's very nice. Yeah, there it is.
That's dynamite. Do you use glass eyes, or do you actually make your own eyes? How's that work?
So I actually sculpt them concave, and then I paint them, and then I put like UV resin and kind of build it out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's like a little scoop, and then you're just piling on clear
Making the
resin.
eye. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. What a cool method.
We gotta stop doing that with pumpkins.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Definitely could.
By the time they were done, they'd be completely rotten.
Yeah. But the eyes would be perfect.
They'd be eyes that stay forever.
It would kind of be cool to see them like rot, but also have like the eyes. So like one's like going down, or however it
Falling out
decides
of the
to.
pocket.
Yeah.
I've been doing that lately, and I've been putting the last few sculpts I did out in an ant pile and watching them over time just tear it apart, and it's kind of fun to watch that decomposition. I've done it before and just kind of let it dry itself out, but watching an animal or ants eat it is even more fun because it just gets so gross, so fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, did you punch the hair in this one? I know you were talking in our pre-show yesterday though about how you're going to do that for another project coming up, but did you do it for this one?
I actually didn't. So the creep is full resin. So okay. I lay hair and then I glue it. But yeah, that's.
It's got the hood on too, so it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah. He actually I didn't mess with like adding hair back here because you're not going to see it,
Yeah.
But yeah, it works really good. But on that note, with the witch, which I was like, I have to prepare because I'm going to have to like reference,
Awesome.
So the witch is
I love
silicone,
this. Yeah.
And my first silicone piece. So I'm learning a lot, especially because now I'm at the point where I have to like figure out the painting, and I've never hair punched before, so I have to figure that out. But I kind of live for that. Right. I always want to challenge myself and just do new things, new exciting things. I'm also making eyes for that. So, I molded the eye form, casted it, and then I'm playing around with like different techniques to get like really realistic eyes. So those were my first ones, but I'm not necessarily happy with it because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So I'm going to have to do some other ones.
Well, I think we talk about it all the time on the show too. It's about the process, right? Especially when you're learning something new. If you don't have that little bit of anxiety or the self-doubt just a little bit, you don't progress.
Yeah.
Because if you think you're on cruise control, like, it's just silicone. I mean, I could do anything. I've definitely failed 75% of the time on anything I've done when it comes to sculpting. So I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident I can screw it up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Someday I'll learn.
Yeah, the challenge of doing a pumpkin for the resin pumpkins we did for Monsterpalooza, like that guy right there.
Simon?
Right? The challenge of that, doing it out of clay, was already weird, and then having to cast it and mold it, cast it, paint it. That was just like, it was wild. But I think Paul and I both commiserated about how much effing money it takes to make a resin cast of something. But I guess now we can make many of them, but my God, it's like $600 later. It's like, please don't mess this up.
Yeah, it's definitely an investment.
Yep.
All right. What is this? Enraged alien, right? Enraged alien. Okay.
Look at that one.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Oh
And
yeah,
you
right.
and you just laid that hair. See, that hair looks perfect.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the same process with the creep, you know, it's same, just gluing hair on resin. So, but I have to say I'm obsessed with the Crypt Keeper. Absolutely obsessed.
Yeah.
One of my earliest memories was watching Tales from the Crypt, which I probably shouldn't have been watching it,
Right.
but here we are, and I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right?
It was on the job training. Yeah, you're just getting trained.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But yeah, I love the Crypt Keeper so much. Just the design. And actually, I brought that sculpt specifically to, I don't know if it was Monsterpalooza or Son of Monsterpalooza, but I guess it doesn't matter. And John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, was there.
Oh wow.
And I got him to sign it, and then I gave him like a copy of one.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that show. I mean, the movie, and I mean, my brother when I was a kid had all the Tales from the Crypt comic books, and so you already started kind of knowing who he was. But then when it came alive, you're like, of course, that's what he's going to sound like and look like and move like.
Yeah.
You know, it's a cool ass puppet, effectively. But holy crap, that was just the perfect thing for that movie and show.
Yeah. I was hoping that they were going to bring there. Well, there was talks of Tales from the Crypt coming back, but I think they're going through some legal stuff. So
Nice. Good for them.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think that's also one of the things that intrigues us, because a lot of the stuff that, you know, that Matt and Paul and we all talk about is like stuff from our childhood, right? So like you just said it, that it was like something when you were young, and it's like you knew that your parents wouldn't like it. It was that kind of intrigue. It was kind of dangerous, and what is this thing? And so it definitely, especially for creative people, it gives you that artistic spark of like, oh wow, this is super cool. Why are people like shielding me from this? I have to know more about it.
Yeah.
Was it on
I remember watching Cheech and Chong movies, and that was a deal. Like, you guys got to leave the room. I'm like peeking around the corner.
now I don't know why I have to leave the room.
Exactly.
Well, it's like when your parents are like, cover your eyes, and you're like, well, why? You know, like.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love that one.
These are absolutely.
Is that a translucent resin?
Yeah. So that's kind of like my rendition of, you know, the monster, Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah,
That's great.
so good.
Yeah.
So now, I know that you, in talking with you, I know you're kind of dabbling or getting, not like dabbling. You're getting pretty damn good at ZBrush and doing some and that type of 3D sculpting or 3D printing. Is this from that, or is this just traditionally sculpted?
Yeah, so he's actually completely digitally sculpted.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I 3D printed them with translucent beige resin.
You can
So-
print them with translucent resin?
Yeah,
Oh, I gotta
Yeah.
learn. I gotta learn.
Yeah.
it's a game changer for sure.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know.
I was really excited about you know, that they have the translucent beige resin, because since my setup is very small, I don't have a pressure pot or anything like that, which you really need for a translucent resin unless you want a bunch of bubbles.
Bubbles, yeah.
But with this, it's like easy peasy. Well, I say easy peasy until you have like print fails from the 3D printer, and then you want to like rip your hair out. But it, I mean, the results are really great. Really
Unbelievable.
smooth. Yeah.
Now, what kind of 3D printer do you have?
So I have two. I have an Elegoo Mars, which is smaller. That was my first 3D printer. And then because I wanted to print as big as possible, I ended up getting what is it? Anycubic Mono X. So that's my other 3D printer.
Any cubic mono X? Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nikki, take these down, please. We need to go by
Please,
this.
Yes.
Put that in the chat, please.
Yeah, I'd recommend either Anycubic or Elegoo if you're trying to go for like an affordable 3D printer.
And they're both resin, right? As opposed to the wire feed or whatever those ones are.
Yeah, they're both
wire
resin.
feed. Yeah.
How's that work? It heats it up. It's like it heats up a liquid.
So it's pretty much like UV resin. So there's a screen on the bottom, and it flashes images with UV light, and then it just builds layer upon layer,
That's
and then you
insane.
get that.
That's you literally made a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Very science fiction.
Alive.
I mean,
It's
like
alive.
the detail is like outstanding. So, wow, it's incredible.
you.
So do
Yeah,
you
I'm-
spend time? And I guess the pinks and the other colors we're seeing, that's just you airbrush or hand paint that?
Yeah. So I do a combination of airbrushing and then hand painting.
Okay.
And you can see with the monster how I have the concave dyes,
Oh,
and then I just fill it up with
Oh, yeah.
UV resin.
Oh, how interesting.
great.
That's a small scale there to do the eyes.
Yeah, I actually have one right here too.
Oh,
So you
cool.
can kind of see
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah.
No, one would call that third scale, I believe.
Oh, no,
Okay.
That's 15. That's eight.
I don't
Good-
know.
good to know.
I have completely being a smartass. I have no idea what scale. it is.
There was a question if those were, is it Vallejo paints?
No.
That you're using?
So I use a combination of Createx airbrush. So like I have a lot of like Tim Gore's Bloodline.
Yeah.
And
Good
then FW acrylic inks. And those are pretty much my primaries.
Got it. Yeah. Johnny says, because of you guys, I bought an airbrush and compressor. Good for you. That's
Oh, no
awesome.
yeah.
way.
Ready?
Yeah, the Gino one. Gino gave us so many great tips on
Yes.
stuff like that. And like, I mean, just couldn't stop. Like, and one of the most generous guys we've ever met. Like, just
Unbelievable.
throwing out info. Like, holy crap! Thank you. He's a
Yeah,
legend.
he's great.
So I got a question about like inspiration because you're. I know in looking a lot, Mickey's going to probably cycle through other pictures that I'm probably preempting, but so are you a horror fan, like just in general, like always loved horror movies and just kind of always wanted to do those characters, or do you ever do like modifications or your own that are just like kind of out of your own head for the most, I mean, or a mix, I guess.
I guess a mix. I definitely get a lot of inspiration from, stuff that I see, media that I consume.
Yeah.
So I try to do a mix, but I definitely do a lot of like fan art and stuff like that. Just because like, I don't know. I guess I just want to try making it myself.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's the right answer. That's perfect. And you want it to be your own.
Yeah.
And that's why Matt and I use
Don't do
as
that.
little reference as possible so that whatever
It's
we
always
come up with is from our deeply disturbed brains.
Yeah, and that's I mean there's a lot of envy I have like for that kind of work you do because it's instantly recognizable as that character.
Sure.
And I know a lot of other folks that we really, Paul and I and Mickey all admire, who just like crank those out. And we're like, damn it, that's a spot on, werewolf from, American Werewolf from London. That's a spot on, Leatherface or whatever. And I know I just have this fear if I try to do it, to be like, oh, that's kind of a cool like take on what that the hell kind of, that's my fear. So that's why I always like, all right, I'm just going to make something completely original because of that fear. I think is probably more than anything.
My fear is more somebody will go, what's it supposed to be?
Right,
Oh,
right.
shit.
Yeah, that's
There we
much
go
worse.
again.
Much worse.
That's it. I quit.
God, I did a Michael Myers plaque, and yeah, not I mean it was fine, but people kept saying that it looked like Bill Murray.
Oh no.
Billy Myers.
Yeah. And literally like this one lady was like, I have to buy it because it looks like Bill Murray. And I was
Oh,
like,
no.
I mean, there you
Hey, the
go.
money's green, you know, what the hell?
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, wow. I guess you
Yeah,
can't
so
take
I mean-
offense. Yeah, you know, no.
No.
You know.
You can't. And those usually those that have something to say have absolutely no ability to do it themselves. They're the best critics.
No, I took it like it just sometimes things aren't a home run, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
They
Right, but
can't-
if you didn't tell us that story, no one would know it.
right.
Or that interaction between
Well,
them. And
but
so
it-
that. No, I get it though.
It's funny,
artist
you know?
Ego. Totally. 100% get it.
It like at this point it's just kind of like a funny story, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the money's green, and as long as who cares?
Nice attitude, man.
But I mean, that's just it. I mean, like you get to the point where it's like, you know, you take such a bashing from other people. You're just like, I mean, people obviously say nice things about it, but then there's so many critics out there. It's like you can't avoid them. So it's like, you just got to do what you do, and you know, people are always going to have an opinion on it. So,
Yeah.
but if someone wants to pay you for that, that's that's the ultimate compliment. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who's the best at dealing with critics is Steve Casino.
Oh, he's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Follow Steve. Shannon, you got to follow Steve Casino. He does peanut sculptures.
Okay.
They're hilarious. It's so good, and he makes custom toys and stuff. But he'll take old Nintendo cartridges and he'll break them apart, and then he'll sculpt the character coming out of it, or he'll do something cool with it. And people will literally like threaten his life because he destroyed like a Tecmo Bowl Nintendo game from the 80s, and he has the best, quickest comebacks. I wish I could think of one. He's so cool. That's what I read when he reads Critics Corner or whatever it is. He'll post pictures of people's comments, and the way he gets back to them is just, it's like he waits for it. He wants it.
Yeah.
He should be a comedian.
I just followed him right now because I don't want to
Oh,
forget.
yeah, you're gonna love it. Yeah, just go.
Funny.
Yeah,
The guy's the best one.
You'll spend hours just kind of reading all those little comments because they're so great, and his comebacks are like gold. So yeah,
Spot on. And he never gets mad. He just kind of like, he turns it around on them.
yeah.
Yeah, no, he's so skilled at it, and just makes and people like lose their mind over like a Nintendo cartridge. Like, how dare you?
That looked like it was in mint condition, but then he takes the time to take the chip out of it, cut it in half on a bandsaw and flush it down the toilet. You know, it's like he's clearly ruining the game. You know,
And completely
So good.
post every minute of it.
yeah. I love it.
He rules.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, Christina's here. Welcome to season 3.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you joining.
Hey,
Yes.
welcome back. I was telling the guys before that we went on. It's like it's just so feels good to be back. And like getting a break is definitely needed. But I was missing the Thursday would roll around. I'm like, what do I do? I can't. Do it.
Yeah.
I would sit in front of my own computer and talk to myself.
Oh.
What else am I gonna do?
The
Well, it's a good thing
visual
we have a
image
show
of
now, so
that
you
is
have to-
really funny.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was trying to think of something funny to say, but it wasn't appropriate.
Paul, come on! I'm really hurt. Really bad.
I'll text it to you after. I don't want to. If there's children listening, it's super funny. But
It's his birthday, so you don't want to insult him that much.
100%.
Birthday for God's sake.
At this point, any insult could kill him.
Yeah, wait. Ouch! I think that one actually stopped my heart for 5 seconds.
Cheers to Matt. Happy birthday to Matt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cheers.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Happy birthday.
I wish I was closer. We could both have huge hangovers tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm sure we would.
Well, you keep doing that, you'll have a huge hangover tomorrow.
Well, Paul, I was looking through. So as our illustrious guests, you probably don't know this, but Paul and Mickey and I got to physically be in the same place at the same time just this last year. The last couple months ago when we were at Monsterpalooza, but before that, Paul and I have gotten a chance to hang out in Boston, here in Arizona, Orlando. So we pretty much dot the globe of places to hang out and drink. But one of the things Mickey asked, he's like, "Hey, well, let's get some new photos for the show." So I was looking through a bunch of ones, and I was trying to find something with a pumpkin in it because no one wants to see my regular just ugly head. So I found probably 10 pictures of Paul and I, and each one of them we got something in our hand. We're like, I'm like, that's kind of like a pumpkin, but most of them had, alcohol in them, which is kind of appropriate.
Listen, it's carving oil, guys. Carving oil.
That's it. That's it. I guess they hydrated
It's
and
for inspiration only. I don't want to drink. It's just I want to be inspired constantly.
Now I want to go to a bar and be like, give me your finest carving oil.
Yes.
And just see what they.
That's it. Yeah.
Someday, people are going to look back and say, those were the guys who made that up? That's like
Yes.
I hope it gets to the same level as dude.
Wow.
Like, whoever was the first person to say dude, I want that to be carving oil. Like, whoever said that in the year like 2099 or something.
Yes.
Yeah. I want it to be as big as Jesus. Is that blasphemous?
Is that stop me if I'm
Maybe that's too far. Sorry.
I think I got John Lennon in trouble. So
Yeah, you got a ton of backlash for that.
Okay, sorry. I'll dumb it down to like I don't know. How about as big as dude? I think Paul, I'll stick with yours. That's fine. Or
we'll stick with dude for now until we find something that doesn't fit everybody else.
A little bit more blasphemous. There we go.
To answer your question, yes, she is working with clay. So she's
Yeah, I'm
took the
working
challenge.
with monster clay.
What are you doing? Medium, hard, soft? What do you typically use?
I think typically medium.
Medium.
Yeah, medium.
Okay.
I like working with medium. You still got to heat it up. That stuff's tough.
Yeah.
I just cut when I did it for my little thing. I just cut little tiny strips of it out. I'm sure there's probably an easier way to do it, but
I put mine in the microwave.
And
then burn every layer of skin off my hand as I apply it onto the.
Like 45 minutes, Paul, high? Is that what you do?
Yeah. I read somewhere that it should be the same as a turkey. Like if you were to cook a turkey in a microwave.
You just put it in an oven. 5 hours.
I put mine in an oven. So.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's probably the better way of doing it.
It's slower. It heats up slower. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can keep it at a lower temp.
Yeah, I keep it at like 200 or 250, but I like 30 minutes is plenty. I feel like any more than that.
Liquid? Do you let it get to liquid or just sort of soft, like played like a silly putty?
So for like 30 minutes, you're getting a little liquid, but it's also soft too.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like the liquid on the sides kind of keep it a hotter temperature for a little bit longer, but the middle you can grab fine with like your hands and not get burned. But don't quote me on that. Use it at your own risk.
Right. We don't want any safety police calling us and you just told people to burn themselves.
I always mix it with like a little stirring stick. So I never just immediately put my hand in there.
Okay.
Yeah, you never can get it to heat up evenly anyway. It's always going to have. Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a great exfoliant if anybody's looking to rid themselves of excess skin on their fingertips. I found that out.
Like waxing?
Well, I really thought in my brain that if it was liquid, I could sort of take a handful of it and like lay it on top and smooth it over like I was frosting a cake. Just so you know, that isn't the case.
Shocking.
And I couldn't even cover my mouth to like hide the biting my forearm.
Wow.
How's it going down there?
and a layer of skin comes off like a glove, you know, just sitting on your. Oh, neat. All right.
It peeled right off. It was just bones when I pulled it out.
Oh my gosh.
That's so
I can't
great.
even imagine.
No.
I'll do it again.
I got a question about your witch. You said this is the first time you've done silicone. So same process to get it all started and molded, but then you just use silicone, or because I know you want to do this one with hair punching and other. Anyway, I'm just curious about how you came upon doing that one out of silicone.
Yeah, so I started out with the sculpt in monster clay, and then I actually molded it with silicone and then casted with silicone, which I was very nervous about.
Yeah.
But I guess I used enough. I was using Vaseline.
Oh.
I just like coated it in there. And it was perfect. Came out really good. Couple little air bubbles like on the ears, but that's really easy to fix because you just mix some more silicone. Yeah. It's just super easy. So
did you know that was going to work? Did somebody like tell you that you could get away with that, or because that's pretty risky?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of research. I always do research, you know, whenever I'm doing something new, and it can be. But yeah, a lot of people do cast into silicone, but like they'll use like mold release, but I'm a little cheap and I'm also very impulsive. And so I'm like, what do I have on hand? Yeah. And Vaseline. So, and it worked good.
Nice. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, you have, what I find is hilarious because you have not one, but two 3D printers, but you don't own a pressure pot and you just called yourself cheap.
Yeah.
And a pressure pot is only a couple $100.
Well, but I don't have a lot of space.
It was either a pressure pot or a 3D printer that could print ginormous half-scale sculptures. I agree.
Yes.
I think you did. I think it was actually a good move because that thing does.
Well, because when you think about it, like if you just have a pressure pot, you're going to have to buy silicone. You're going to have to buy resin. So it all kind of, you know, one and the same.
I'm just jealous.
Well, your compressor though, you got to use a compressor though, but you have an air compressor for your airbrush, right? Or is it all in one? Never mind.
I do have a air compressor for my airbrush, but it's tiny. I don't know if it would work for like an actual pressure pot.
Probably not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul, you were saying something.
No, it wasn't. I was scraping. My voice sounds just like a scraping tool, like nails on a chalkboard.
So we showed this one earlier, but you actually do paintings of the same thing. So we have a whole bunch, not a whole bunch, but a couple paintings that you've done. So do you do paintings of everything, or is this specific ones?
No, it just kind of like sometimes I'll get inspired just to do like little paintings. So I don't do it for every piece, but at the time of that little mini painting that I did, it was just released and I was like, Pennywise, you know?
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
So.
But they did
How much you stuck this? I'm sorry, Paul, I'm talking over you. Did it again.
No, you weren't. I was just saying they did such a good job on the remake. It's like, I don't like when, like the original Pennywise, there's a couple of moments when he's burnt and stuff that really scares you. And so when you see cool sculpts of it, it's like, oh, that's dynamite. But any time he was on screen was terrifying, especially with the eye being just off, a little bit of for no reason. And I thought they did a great job. I can't wait to make my kids watch it.
Start them now, Paul. Get them.
Yeah, I'm gonna super glue their eyelids open and say, "Family movie night."
Yeah, I was gonna say so from a commission standpoint, do you kind of have an idea and then you want to do something, or do you just say, hey, somebody calls you up and say, do a Pennywise for me, and I'll I'll pay for it, or is it just something you do and then they say I have to have that?
Well, not necessarily with the Pennywise, but I've done a couple of pieces for video games. So like I
nice.
did the Butcher for Hunt Showdown, which is kind of like a really gross, bloated body with like a pig's head, like decapitated pig's head. And then I also did a couple of the killers from Dead by Daylight. And so that's like the clown. I did like I had two commissions for the clown. And they have different outfits. So, it's easy to do multiples of the same character. But yeah, that kind of took off with like the Dead by Daylight community.
And is that because of your Twitch? Because I know you talked about your Twitch show you did for a long time, and because of the gaming, I'm assuming you're a gamer too.
Yes.
And, yeah. So those commissions probably came from that. Does that come from that community saying I want this crazy character?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Because I would play Dead by Daylight, and then since I also sculpt, I'd be like, you know what? It would be fun to do this. And there's other people that, they love those characters just as much as I do.
Yeah.
And, they want to display it.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So
here's more of your paintings. Yeah.
These are outstanding. So cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I was getting a lot of inspiration with old comics, old EC comics and stuff like that. So I was like, I just gotta, if there's one thing about me, I just take inspiration when it hits and I just do whatever,
Sure. That's the way, that's how you have to do it, right? I mean, that's,
yeah.
So say it again, Paul?
When it's forced, it's just no fun.
No.
It's almost like an actual 9-to-5 job where you're just watching the clock and you're not. It's like I just have to get through this. I hate that feeling when you're like, I just have to get this done.
Yeah.
Oh God, me too. In your creative process, Shannon, do you like you'll get inspired to do something? Do you like, okay, get out of my way? I got to find a paintbrush. I got to find some clay and kind of just get it out, or is it something you kind of bruise in your head? Because sometimes there's a little bit of both, but.
Yeah, I would say probably a little bit of both.
Oh,
I'll definitely be like, I don't know, I'll see something, it could be anything, and I'm like, okay, I have to do that. And then I'm like, okay, where can I get this? Do I already have it?
Oh yeah.
Let me just go to my work desk and just start sculpting. Or like with the witch, it was around the same time as these paintings that I was doing a lot of EC comic reading, and one of the main like hosts was the witch, and I was like, okay, I want to do a witch because I've always wanted to do a silicone piece, and I kind of want to do her like a puppet. So I'm also working on that, like I have to kind of carve out her mouth a little bit, but she does kind of open her mouth just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So, but this is just, it's kind of like my process. I go in 100% and then I just learn along the way with whatever I want to, come up with.
Is that a solid silicone piece?
No.
Oh,
so she is hollow.
So like latex, you can kind of let it set for a few, kind of rotocast it and then get it out of there. Is it similar to that?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no kidding. Oh,
yeah.
I like this. I'm learning too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the minute I saw it, it kind of reminded me of Andy Bergholtz's Witch, which is like one of my favorites that he does, and just such an inspiration anyway. But the minute I saw it, I'm like, holy crap! It was just like had that kind of vibe to it, which is so cool. I'm a big fan of that one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Andy's work as well.
Oh yeah, that guy's a genius.
I mean, I don't know how you can't be.
Everything he does, like, it's like real.
Like the Balrog behind Matt, actually, is an Andy Bird holds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that guy over there. He made it a sideshow with some people. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool. Always gets compliments. There's a question for you. Do you use a Wacom tablet for your ZBrush, or what do you use for that?
Yeah, I actually have a, I think it's a medium size Wacom tablet, but it's not the one with like the screen. It's just a little,
just the pad or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that takes some getting used to as well. Like I tried to use that, and it was difficult for me, and I was thinking that the ones that actually do it on the screen might be a little bit easier for me if I were to use it full time. But weirdly, I use a mouse for everything I do because it's just faster for just what I came up with, and it's my brain can't think about the pen the same way.
Wow.
Yeah, when I first started digital sculpting, I had a problem with like I was like digging the stylus into the tablet. You know, it's like I didn't have you don't really need to do that. So my hand would get all cramped up, you know, because when I'm sculpting, I'm using a lot of force. I'm moving stuff around, carving stuff out, you know. And with digital sculpting, it's almost like drawing. You know, you don't have to just dig in there. You know, the program does that for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of a little learning curve.
Yeah.
Well, that's, you know, we and again, we talked about this briefly yesterday, but what I mean, like you kind of inspired me to actually, Paul and I have gone as far as to get, 3D scanners so we can scan this and not have it and have it be permanent, put it in as a file. And I've just been kind of like, anyway, I have it. And I think I talked about, I have this nice $700 little box on the ground that I don't touch, but but the fact that you can go in and use ZBrush to clean it up, make it look nice and stuff like that, it's like, why wouldn't you do that stuff? But so I'm inspired by what you said about just getting used to it and tackling it. So I'm not saying I'm gonna, but I'm inspired by it.
Yeah.
What was that iPad Pro app you were talking about as well?
Yeah.
Oh, Nomad Sculpt.
Nomad Sculpt.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's about I think it's $10 or $15 on the App Store, and it's really intuitive. The one downfall with ZBrush, and it's not really a downfall, it's just a learning curve, is the interface. You know, it's confusing, but with Nomad Sculpt, it's very intuitive. All the buttons, it's like move or I haven't opened it in a bit, but all the buttons have like very simple names, and you're like, okay, that does this, and and you can figure it out really easy. So I think like for a beginner just getting into digital sculpting, Nomad Sculpt, and you have an iPad, Nomad Sculpt is definitely really cool, and you can take it on the go.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Is it iPad Pro or iPad?
Excuse me.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I have an iPad Pro. I think you would probably need an iPad that at least has the Apple Pencil.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That would probably be my suggestion.
So if you want to check that out, that's where you can check it out at.
So Paul, Nomad Sculpt, thank you. So Paul, you and I just got to go get that. You didn't never buy ZBrush, did you, Paul?
Oh, hell no. No. I didn't buy any of that.
It's expensive. Like if you want like a one-time payment for like the ownership of the program, it's like $700+.
It's not only that, it's like you were saying, the time that you have to invest in. There's a huge learning curve with those things. If you weren't into it for a while before, or got in at the beginning and kind of know the different versions of it, know all the terminology and stuff, it can be very disheartening when you can't figure it out the first couple of times, right?
Yeah.
So stuff like that, I end up having to buy a new computer because I end up smashing the current one on the ground. I don't know.
Anger management classes for Paul. We'll send that.
It's even more money.
It's 15 years
Maybe-
ago. Now everybody else has to deal with it. It's called anger dealing with. Deal with my attitude.
There might be a bundled deal with ZBrush and anger management. I'm not sure though.
Well, I mean, when you put it like that. I guess, yeah.
I wonder if my employer covers that. Like, you get 3 smashed computers in the plan. Once you get your deductible met.
Well, you remember the kids, the big rubber like alien things that went on the iPads?
Yes.
That's what I have for mine, just so I can be like,
exactly.
boing, and it just bounces back up into my hands
Nice.
because I'm like a 3-year-old. Good problems to have.
Yes.
But the Nomad, I think I'll download Nomad tonight and take a look at it.
Same here.
Yeah,
And Nomad, if you're
pretty
listening,
cool.
go ahead and hit us up for a sponsorship.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll test
Come
it
on,
out.
Nomad. and royalties go to Shannon like out of the gate because she's the one.
Right,
Who
yep,
Hey,
yep.
I understand. Perfect.
I won't complain.
So Halloween's going to be right around the corner, and there's a lot of Shannon's work that's
Look at that. I love that
pumpkin
one.
related. I love these.
Oh,
These are
yeah.
amazing.
Foggy Eyes, my favorite.
I know.
Yeah.
So
So
cool.
those eyes were also sculpted concaved, and then I just used UV resin to fill them out.
What'd you do with the? So you just painted the grayish blue fog into the eye, and it projects like that.
Well, so for the foggy eye, I did kind of like the rim of the iris, I guess you would say, is like darker, and then I kind of like an ombre effect to the center of the eye, like a darker blue kind of to a lighter blue, almost to white. And then with the UV resin, I tinted it kind of milky and then just added that.
So you can just use like an acrylic in with the resin and it's fine.
Yeah.
Wow. It looks dynamite.
Thank you.
So good pictures too, actually. Now you're a
Thank you,
photographer. You got a long list.
No.
There's a lot of feathers in your cap.
No, that's actually my fiance. He's a photographer.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That's fair. Well done. I got to meet him briefly at Monsterpalooza. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
The
That's
feathers
it.
where the feathers are due, where they put them in the cap. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I love this guy too because he's got that almost like he's starting to rot look, or he's rotting and like turning in this because like when pumpkins rot, their mouths kind of curl in like that, and it just looks so great. So
Yeah, that's kind of like the look that I wanted to go for. And then I had to add his little pumpkin seeds, drooling out.
right.
Yeah, I call him Jackie Rotten.
Right on.
Nice. Well, if you call Jackie Rotten, what is this one called?
So that's Mutado.
Mutado.
Yeah, so I'm also a very big X-Files fan. And they did a Monster of the Week little bit in X-Files, and one of them was Mutado, the Great Mutado.
Okay.
And it's one of my favorite episodes. So I was like, I have to sculpt him. I love what they did with like the faces morphing. I've never done anything like that. And that's kind of how I learn. It's like, if I see something, a work that's already been done, and I've personally never done anything like it, then I try to emulate it and figure out what they do. So that's what.
Well, mission accomplished.
Yeah,
Thank you.
beautiful. And the reference, I'm assuming, do you just like freeze frame on the episode? Because I'm trying to think of how you would use, because it's so seamlessly put together. Is that
So
how you did that?
What kind of sucks about the Great Mutado is in the episode, they don't show his face very clearly in most of the shots. So most of the shots are very quick. They're not like in focus or anything like that. So I would have to kind of take little liberties, but but for the most part, that's him. That's the Great Mutado. Yeah.
He looks like a nice person.
He is.
Person's-
In the episode,
person's-
he is.
You just got to get to know him, for God's sake. He's misunderstood.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You guys should watch it because
Okay.
maybe he isn't necessarily a nice person. I don't know. You guys have to come up with your own thoughts. on
Okay.
it.
All right. Mickey, please take notes.
Yes.
You taught him. I'm watching.
Yes.
I would write it down, but I'm like eating butternut squash right now. So.
I was choking on it earlier.
Oh, no.
Death by squash.
Well, if this is a nice guy, then what is this guy? Does he have good traits?
Ooh.
So no, he doesn't.
That's one of the killers, right? From
Yes.
the game? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a commission piece for the clown from Dead by Daylight. He's a killer. And he has like a little, that outfit, he's like an elephant, like a, what do you call him? Yeah, but like like a mascot, you know,
Okay.
like Chuck E. Cheese,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah. So he's creepy. Definitely not a good guy. He's definitely going to come after you. And
eat
it's
you.
not going to be fun.
You're not going to be around long enough to meet him and
No.
get to know him.
You get to know him
No,
now.
I think the only thing he wants from you are your fingers. Because if you look
Oh,
at his
that's
little
right. 'Cause
pocket,
That's right. He's got like a little. I remember looking at some of your stuff, and it has like a ring, like a big key ring with a bunch of fingers drilled on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good guy.
yeah.
Good guy.
So, from a gaming perspective, I mean, like, there's so much out there. From a platform, do you do like PC gaming? Do you do PS5 or Xbox? Do you have a preference?
So now I'm strictly PC.
Okay.
But when I started out, I was, Xbox, but, PC Master Race.
Mm.
So
That's for the Alien. Do you have a big Alien system and like it's like more expensive than your car payment kind of thing? Like
yeah, it can get really, really pricey,
Yeah.
especially because, you like I built my own PC and all the parts,
Oh.
especially like a graphics card. I mean,
oh my god,
like a good graphics card, you're gonna probably spend like $1,500
Holy
just
macaroni.
just on the graphics.
Yep.
wow. And is that so that it improves rendering speed? So you're basically getting faster. Okay, got it. Okay,
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm learning. I'm just I'm a layman.
Yep.
Here. I do like gaming, but I just don't know it. I'm not that much of a fan.
My son and I built a gaming computer. We've well, technically we built two, but we just built one from scratch because he wanted to do it. And at the time, it cost us, I say, roughly about $1,500. So that inspired him, and he now works at Best Buy because he loves like computers and stuff like that. And he was like, when we were doing that computer, everything was affordable, and everything has gone up tremendously.
Oh,
Yeah, just from we were talking about shipping earlier being a lot. Now it's just like all that stuff is now scarce, and to find like you can't find like a lot of the good higher end stuff. It's the different motherboards and chips and stuff like that. It's definitely competitive now.
Yeah. Well, during the pandemic, I mean, just with anything, everything was sold out. Stuff wasn't coming in, and people were just hoarding, graphics cards. You couldn't find them.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's getting better now, but yeah, there was a period where it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
People were just marking them up.
Because they could.
Yeah.
They can.
Yep.
I know we're just about an hour in. Can I see what you're working on, Shannon? I'm curious. Because your alien and my alien are probably quite different. Enraged alien.
Oh,
Wow.
jeez,
So
you're
that's
fast.
Wow. Holy crap, that's fast.
Wow.
definitely very, very beginning stages, but
Sure.
we're working.
That's right. Paul and I make giant messes and hate them, and then all of a sudden we turn the corner. I'm like, oh, okay, here it is.
Well, I didn't really hate mine till a second ago when I saw hers. Now I gotta.
I gotta start over. Turn it
Well,
around the other side.
let's go through a little bit more of Shannon's work, and then we'll definitely see what you guys are working on.
Yeah, do a lot more of her work.
All right.
I got an hour here.
So many like awesome pieces. So tell us more about some of the stuff.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so that's also another commission, Dead by Daylight. She's also another killer.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's part of it's called Legion. So there's like 3 other characters. It's like her, another girl, and then a boy. But yeah, she's also not a good person. She'll kill you, stab you in the back.
No one you want to get to know. Got it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and then this
cool.
Hatbox Ghost. Well, so I mean, I live in Southern California, so I love Disneyland, and the Haunted Mansion is my favorite ride.
Yeah. I see that.
So I had to do kind of like my own rendition of the Hatbox Ghost, and as I was doing this, D23 they announced a contest. It was like the Haunted Mansion 60th, 50th, something like that. It might have been 60th, actually. So I entered it, and I actually placed. I didn't win, but I did place top 10, and I got to, I got to go to D23, and they had it all displayed.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, but yeah, I love him.
Matt and Paul, are you aware what D23 is?
That's the special Disney place that Terry belongs to, isn't it?
I've always wanted to go to it. So that is awesome.
It's a club within the club kind of thing.
Yes.
Nick, you know Terry. Like we can make that happen.
Well, I've always wanted to go there. I never had the connections because you have to have connections to do it, correct?
Mickey, we sat with Terry
we
for
have
an hour at the
legendary Terry Harden, our good friend.
She's
amazing.
Let's do it.
I bet she'd love to take you there.
Yeah, definitely. And I was even going to say about the paintings before, they reminded me of a Haunted Mansion. So like,
yeah.
Definitely inspired. Yeah.
Definitely inspired. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So cool. But I like that you put I like that you put your own spin on it. That's
yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah, I tried to put a little bit, of my own little flair.
Sure.
You have to.
So this one is
Ooh.
So I sculpted him without really much thought on like his backstory. I just kind of wanted to go for like he's like a fantasy character.
Yeah.
Maybe in Lord of the Rings or something like that.
I see that. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Viking, hobbit, dwarf, wizard.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
How many parents did this thing have?
So when I was creating him, my uncle, he was telling me that he's been like writing this book, and one of the characters is the blacksmith. And
ooh, there we go.
He saw him, like this guy that I'm working on, and was like, hold on, this is the guy. This is what I'm thinking of. So cool. now he's the blacksmith.
Cool.
Nice.
I can see like he's got like overall like the blacksmith's leather front thing. I'm sure that's what it's called.
100%.
Would it be called an apron? I don't know.
Thank you. That's a lot of I'm no genius, but that's probably it.
Matt, I'm pretty sure you were right the first time.
The front deal,
front bib
thingy.
The bib, yeah.
Yeah.
So
but
cool.
I still have to add. So I like to obviously I like to add mixed media to my pieces. So I like to add hair. I like to add actual fabric to my pieces. So I'm gonna add actual fabric for his shirt. I probably will just keep his straps. I'll just paint those normal. But I like to kind of incorporate a little bit of mixed media in each piece.
Very cool.
That's so awesome.
Super cool.
I love that nose. That thing is just epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love like very just crazy noses.
Me
I
too.
don't
I'm
know.
just like a big fan of schnozzes that like kind of spread. Like
Schnoz.
Yeah.
the bulbous one, and yeah, so much character in it.
Definitely.
Schnozola.
Nikki, please.
Sorry.
Family show. Jeez.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I'm sorry.
So
Oh,
this
man.
guy was inspired by Krampus.
Sure.
So like the old school, like vintage depictions of Krampus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
So and his eyes were also, sculpted concave and then sat in a little bit of resin.
Wow.
That's very the original version. I like it.
And he's also 3D printed too.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta get one of these printers because this
You do.
shit's tough.
Mickey, Paul, Ted has like some crazy ones, like really cool, big, high production ones. Ted Haynes, and he said that we could send him a file, like if I wanted to carve this POS and send it to him, he could print it out for us. But I'm with you. And I was like, why not just if Shannon's got two of them for crying out loud, we can get one.
Right? Good point. Who's borrowing?
Granted, I would just have one if the bigger size was available when I bought my smaller one. When I bought my smaller one, that was like the only size, and it's like really for like minis, tabletop minis. But man, I would print to the full size that I could.
Yes.
It was like extreme.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's
Yeah.
such a cool thing to be able to do, especially when you have such control over the finished product. But you said, well, short of the mishaps with if you have errors on printing, but at least you know what the finished product is going to look like.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of air bubbles and whatever.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like a failure on a 3D printer, what does that look? I mean, so how does that fail? I mean, you're putting a file in there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what does it look like when it fails?
So sometimes like it just won't. There's like a couple different types of fails. One being that it won't adhere to like the build plate at all.
Oh.
So like it will look like it's going up and down and building, but then once you can see the bottom of the build plate, there's nothing there. And you're like, what the hell? And you're like a couple hours into 3D printing and there's nothing there. And you're like, what?
Okay.
So usually, you gotta dump the resin back into the container and make sure everything's clean. You have to like re-level the build plate and stuff like that. Sometimes you have to sand the build plate because it needs a little bit more of a grippy texture. Other times it could be that the supports that you added to the piece weren't enough, and and the suction just like rips the sculpt off.
Oh,
Jesus.
So that sucks because like you'll be a couple hours in and then it just fails.
And resin isn't terribly expensive, is it? I mean, like you're just buying like gallons of it or half gallons or.
Yeah, so I don't know what the actual size is, but you get a decent amount for about like $30. I can get a couple sculpts off of just $30.
Okay.
So I think it's well, you get more product than I feel like if you got like a pint of like smooth on.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, smooth on apparently to me is now the Ferrari from a cost perspective of products, because holy crap is it. I mean, like it's great stuff and it's really intuitive and easy to use and stuff, and it tells you you mix one part of this to one part of that. It's like very easy and it works. But my God, holy crap, is that expensive?
yeah. When I was doing a lot of molding and casting, I would just use smooth on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. Shout out to Smooth On.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smooth on. We're ready for
Another
that.
one. If you could just sponsor us and give us free shit, that'd be great. Thanks.
Call
Lots
us
of
tomorrow. We're around.
We'll talk about you all show.
Yeah.
Sort of like we're doing now for free.
Yeah.
The company.
We'll bill them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you would have to do like a molding and casting stream.
Yeah.
And then you could.
Yeah, but we would cast these. That would be the thing. We would show everybody that you can cast like
There you go.
sculpts.
A pumpkin.
Exactly.
Hey, Paul, when do pumpkins show up around you? Because I think it's probably earlier than when I see it. When do you get them in August, or do you have to wait till September to start seeing them?
Usually it's the beginning of September if you're lucky, depending on the season. We've had really, really dry weather, whereas last year we had really, really wet weather, which was a problem. Yeah. So I think we're having the extreme on the other end. Like, I don't know how big they're going to be this year because there's been no water.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see. But usually in the beginning to middle of September, you can start getting them if you're lucky.
I cannot wait to actually have a pumpkin show up.
Oh, somebody let the dogs out.
Someone's dog. Who let the dogs out?
While we're at it, Paul, what do you got there?
Apparently I have Eddie from Iron Maiden.
So I was just gonna say, yeah.
Not sure when that happened, but
I have Eddie. I have Eddie part 2.
To the hills.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Eddie's an alien, right? Or a demon or something.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to kick it all back as far as I can and give him kind of a neck too. So
Ooh, nice.
He's otherworldly.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's not from Medford or Boston.
So Shannon,
But,
you're a metal fan, right?
I am.
So you know Eddie. You know
Yes.
Eddie is we're all big fans of Eddie.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
What's your
My
favorite Iron
first-
Maiden album?
Oh God. I don't know.
Power Slave,
Mine's Peace of Mind.
Peace of Mind.
It's the best.
I don't even
Well,
have
I
a
was
favorite
gonna
album.
say
I just love the song.
my first concert ever was Judas Priest.
Nice.
Good one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad's like an old school metalhead. So I'm always around it, you know?
He's a good man. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his favorite band?
Judas Priest.
God,
Motorhead.
I feel like he would probably say like Sabbath.
Wow.
Oh, there you
nice.
go. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm only saying that because like I remember him telling me when
My favorite
one
band
of
is
their
Sabbath.
albums no, one of their albums came out and he, got the vinyl and he, put it on and he was just like, whoa, like this is next level. There's nothing like this,
Oh yeah.
He was right.
This guy just showed up on my table.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
is that a new cat?
Yeah, Paul, it is.
So
That one is bro.
Cap, but was he there before Cap?
Just before, yeah. We lost a family pet last weekend.
Yeah.
But
Sorry about that, buddy. He was a good dog.
He
Hey, do you think it was because of that cat?
he probably just
just saying.
got depression and just said, "Screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and."
Kind of an odd coincidence that cat shows up.
Just
I
packed
don't
it
know.
in? What?
Terrible. My kids aren't watching because they're sick of this show, but if they were, then they'd be mad at me. So sorry, kids, if you ever watch this later.
Matt, what do you got there?
Let me see, Maddie.
All right, so I'm see if I can get this guy to. What do you do?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so he's a mile away from anything, but so I like the big bulbous top of him. I think all you probably do the same thing. One eye is kind of squinty, one eye is big, and I haven't decided what the nose is going to be, but I don't think aliens have very big noses, at least in my brain. But he's got some gnarly teeth. I'm going to give him like kind of a butt chin and some sunken sides and stuff like that. But here we go.
Just doing kitty things.
Exactly. But so he's a long way away, but You know what I want to give him? I just had this thought of like giving him like a alien cowl around here.
Oh, nice.
You know, I don't know. So I've been thinking about like how to make him. He's enraged, right? Is that the right thing? Enraged?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So he'll stay enraged, and I just want to give him a little bit something that's like outside of just this round shape. So.
But if you give him a cowl, he'll be fabulous.
It'll just be silver.
Yes, it looks like something from the Jungle Cruise in Disneyland.
Oh,
Oh,
very
yeah.
Disney. It's a very
I can see
Disney
that.
night.
Oh, you look very tiki-like. You're right. Crap.
Yeah.
I'll fix that. Mickey, thank you.
There you go. There you go. Again, great minds come together, think alike.
Yeah,
But
I don't-
the aliens could have
there's no
been,
aliens in
you know.
Jungle Cruise.
Tikis could be aliens, right? I mean,
Yeah.
True. That's
They
true.
could be.
I'm gonna-
Depictions.
that's all
just
these
saying,
things.
Maddie, you don't have to take a whole new direction.
I know. I'm just, I gotta clean him up. He's.
So
That's
much
the
work.
one part about the show that I love is like the fact that we get to finish this behind the scenes when watching, I can just sit there and yell at it myself without
Yeah.
being.
You know what I
embarrassed.
think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, after this ends, I'm going to get the order information for those 3D printers from Shannon, and that's how I'll finish mine, is I'll just 3D print it,
Hey.
get rid of all these scratch marks.
Yeah, make it look like a nice pumpkin.
Yeah, smarter, not harder, my friend.
There you go.
Clean it up.
So we're gonna switch from Iron Maiden to more of a Sepultura right here.
Oh, I love that.
Yes,
That is so
Shrunken head.
good.
Yes.
The mouth is so good.
So cool.
I know. I love that. So that's
Is that
is that
3D printer that's sculpted?
It's a cup.
What was that?
Sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Paul.
Nope, Matt first. I said it first.
Yeah, Paul, please. Come on, Paul. Is that a cup?
Yeah, so you wouldn't
Can one
want to drink
drink out
out
of
of
that?
it. No.
I want to drink out of that. That is like the best. I literally want to like do shots out of that head. I don't know why.
You know, well, because it's not ceramic, so I don't think it's food safe, unfortunately.
Well, I'm okay with
It's
that.
resin. It's resin with like acrylic paint. I don't know. It would probably, the paint would start chipping off,
All right.
Yeah, but
You were-
you got to remember something. Matt and I are from the generation that drank from the hose
We have lead paint in our-
and
in our
hurt
blood.
us.
Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want with it. then.
So in that case, yes, you
That's
can totally
right.
drink from it.
There we go.
But yeah, I hand sculpted that in monster clay
It's done.
and
So cool.
molded it, casted it in resin, and did mostly. No, actually, I think mostly it was hand painted. I just would go in with a little airbrush, like around the sockets and like the temples, just with like a darker color. But then, yeah, everything else just hand painted.
So cool.
It's a great sculpt.
It is.
Thank you.
I'm telling you now, if you see something that you go, wow, that looks like my mug, it's because I stole it from you. I used you for inspiration. I love the mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing's
Yeah.
great, but that mouth, the way it almost looks like it's healing itself
So
back
shiny.
together.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
so good. Oh, there it is. There he is. I love that.
Oh, Harold.
Harold.
That was his name?
Yeah. You guys ever
Night-
read the Scary Stories to Tell in the
Scary
Dark?
story. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I saw the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so that Harold, like the sculpt that I did, is based off of the one in the movie, but a little bit the book, but mostly the movie. So, but yeah,
That's
I would,
tough.
I always have to make fabric clothes, add a little hair, and he's actually sculpted out of Super Sculpey.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bake.
Yeah. I just did the armature. I do add, like, for like his arms and his fingers, I do add like epoxy sculpt just to like make sure that it's really strong and the fingers aren't going to break off or anything like that. And then I just put Super Sculpey over it.
It's
So,
dynamite. Great
Chris-
paint too.
Yeah, it is. Chris Knopbush does the cosplay. Have you ever done that? Like, from what do you think of it?
I actually like it. I did like a little face with it. I just got cosplay like maybe a month or so ago.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually really cool. I feel like if you were to use it for like fingers and just like stuff that's very thin, perfect, because it's not gonna break,
Right,
I mean,
it's pliable.
at least it's not supposed to break. I'm sure it could, but it's not going to be as fragile as regular Super Sculpey.
Right.
Yeah.
He was showing us how like the smaller pieces where he was like flexing it and stuff like that. That is a cat.
That's a
All right.
special guest.
Yeah, again, recurring guest. Uninvited.
The fifth member of Carvers and Creators.
The cosplay, like even after baked, was like slightly flexible, which I'm sure would be great for like fingers and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. When I first heard of cosplay, I was like, God, could you like do stop motion animation with it? But I think they tell you.
Really flexible.
I think they tell you not to do that.
How's that right?
But you still could, I guess.
Right.
They don't rule you.
Follow their rules.
They ain't the boss of you.
I would love to like dabble in some type of stop motion. I just haven't yet.
Yeah,
I have a feeling you will though.
Yeah, I can totally see a lot of your characters in stop motion, like because they're that right size. Like I could see a perfect. Anyway, my daughter's a big stop motion buff and loves making them and stuff, and so she, kind of does them all the time and frames it really well and everything, and it's just magical when like you think of like the old movies where they had skeleton. What was that? Keep me honest, Mickey. The
like House on Haunted
Harryhausen?
Yeah, Harryhausen, like the old stuff, like exactly where we have.
Titans and stuff.
Thank you. You know what? I had too much of this.
Well, what about Frosty the Snowman?
That's
a classic.
That's a good one.
God, I love that face. That is so good.
So how about making this into a stop motion?
Oh
character?
Yeah, having him come and rip the lights off your house, then just
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
God, I forgot I did him, but yeah. He was also made out of Super Sculpey.
So is that what primarily that was your go-to before you found Monster Clay?
Kind of.
That was mine.
Yeah, definitely when I first started sculpting, I was primarily Super Sculpey because it was just easy. You don't have to worry about molding and casting it. You just throw it in the oven, bake it, and then you can paint it. But of course, I wanted to complicate things, and I had to get Monster Clay and mold and cast stuff. But yeah, Super Sculpey. I still use it. Like the Jackie Rotten piece, his body and his arms and everything, Super Sculpey, but his face was 3D printed. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then you have part 2 where you can have this guy come in as
That's the Ginger Deadman.
The Ginger Dead.
Oh, the names are awesome.
Yeah, I said you have a whole thing going on here. You're missing out.
Yeah, so I have 2 versions of this guy. The first one I did in Monster Clay, and of course I molded and cast it in resin. But then I was like, what? My sculpting skills have gotten better. I need to do an updated version. So this is where the Ginger Deadman 2.0 came in. And,
I love the eyes on that one too. The process on the eyes that you do really sells
yeah.
it.
It is.
And that's an ornament too, right?
Yeah, it's an ornament. And I have to add like a little bit of glow in the dark paint to the center of the eyes, so his little eyes glow.
Yeah.
Nice. So if the kids get out of bed at night, it looks like they're being watched.
Yeah. Paul, we got to order one for our kids. That's good.
There you go.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna put one at the end of my kid's bed, like year round. Really screw with them, man.
Forget the elf on the shelf. This is the new guy.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah,
Perfect.
He's the new hey, stay in bed because this guy's gonna eat your soul.
It could be like Ginger Dead on your head or something like that.
Ginger Dead.
Yeah, Ginger Dead at the end of your bed. Perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Well, it's come that time. The fastest 90 minutes on the internet is our show. Sorry to say it. If you want to see Shannon's work, go to her Instagram page. Is there anywhere else that we can find your work? I know you have an Etsy page, right?
Yeah, I do have Etsy. It's Shannon Van Pelt Art. I also have Twitter, which is just Shannon Van Pelt, and then I have TikTok, which is just Shannon Van Pelt.
Nice.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is where you can find us.
Any relation to Linus Van Pelt?
No. I always get Scott Van Pelt from like ESPN.
Oh yeah.
They're like, is Scott Van Pelt your dad? Sometimes I just go with it. I'm like, yeah.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you so much for joining us, Shannon. We totally loved having you. We'd love to have you back.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
And we got
it
to
was a
see that when
pleasure.
it's finished.
Yes.
Yes.
Please share.
Yes,
Can
I
we take
definitely
one
will.
more peek? Can we take one more peek?
I definitely have to finish him.
Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah,
that
us
direction.
too. Oh, look how fast
Oh my
you go.
God. You're good. You're
I
so
want
damn
to. I
fast.
want to add like teeth. So I think I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
add
yeah.
like translucent super sculpey teeth. I think
Ooh.
that'll be fun.
I know
See,
it will be.
Yeah.
I
See
guarantee.
what happens when people jump in and sculpt with us. This is like the best thing ever. This is so Shannon, you're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for taking
You
the
guys are
challenge.
awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Of
you.
course. I had a
Yes.
blast.
Awesome.
I mean,
Yes.
I it's crazy how fast this has gone by.
I know. We're just like having fun chatting, and now it's over. Damn it.
We could go for another 90 minutes, I feel like.
Easy. Easy.
We will have you back, and we will take you up on it.
Yes. We're gonna have you back. Definitely. This is so fun.
So Matt and Paul, what did you think of our first show for season 3? Can you believe it?
Unbelievable. It's fantastic. We couldn't ask for a better guest. And
Agreed.
we're right back into the carving season. We got the carving oil, and I realized I got to sharpen my tools because they got dull somehow in a month, or I just forgot how to sculpt. So shaking off the rust, but I'm happy to be back. Big things coming. We've got big announcements in the next couple of weeks.
And don't forget the pumpkin carving contest is going to come back as well.
That's right.
With Randy Davis. So we're going to be kind of kicking that back off too. But again, all coming. Just make sure you tune in every damn week so you can see amazing artists like Shannon and hang out with us. All that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Do you carve pumpkins, Shannon, in the carving season? Did you try?
I've never done it, but I've always wanted to. So maybe
I
got to do it.
Maybe you'll have to do it on the show.
Maybe.
We'll give her a copy.
Shannon, I saw on your site you did a beet or not a beet,
radish?
Sweet potato. Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet potato.
If you do that and you kick ass at doing that, you're going to come on and do it with us in the pumpkin.
Okay.
Yep.
Done.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Deal. Sign the
ready.
contract. Sign it.
Done. Send the contract, Mickey.
Exactly. No, we have a verbal contract right now.
Good. We're good.
Yeah, live forever now.
All right, everyone. So that is it. We will see you next Thursday with another Carvers and Creators. Good night, everyone. Take care.
Night, everybody.
Bye.